got it better than us? Nobody! Nobody! Who's got it better than us?
Hi, I'm Bonnie de Laflin.
And I'm Melissa Jacobs.
And you're watching another episode of Four Downs. This is our third episode, and we're a little excited, as you know, because our team is now 2-0, right, Melissa? And we are so much on the same page, me and Melissa, that we, not planned at all, are wearing the same shirt.
Yep. I'm a faithfulista, and so are you.
Yes, I am. We both have our shirts. What is our shirts? We got to say, talk about our friend Krista Olson.
Yeah, when we were out at training camp a couple weeks before the season, and we met with Krista, and we heard all about their awesome new Faithfulista Club. They do all kinds of events and everything, so you should go to 49ers.com and search for them and sign up.
Yeah, it's for women who want to learn more about, you know, football and get on board with the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get going with the show, and we're going to start with our first down, which is kind of talking about the upcoming matchup and so forth. And obviously, again, we're 2-0, and we were able to shut down the Lions' explosive offense and control Megatron.
Yes.
And let's get with our first question is, what Niners have surprised us so far? And I'm going to take that with Crabtree, because I've never been like a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of on board with him. He looks great. He's running precise routes. He's catching the ball. Usually he has a tendency of dropping the ball. He's getting open, and he's being real productive. And I'm hoping to start seeing some real big plays from him, you know, in the red zone. But I'm actually impressed with Crabtree.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Another guy that I'm impressed with, that I've been impressed with for, you know, the 25 years he's been on the team, is Frank Gore. You know, I think there was a lot of talk that Kendall Hunter was going to come in this year and kind of supplant him, that Frank was, you know, over the hill or past his prime. I always hear past the prime. Well, I think his prime is really long, and he's just, I mean, he's running great to the outside and the inside, and he's tough. He's getting those hard yards. I mean, it's been 2 games, but, you know,
and he's getting us those first downs that we need. So he always comes up clutch, Frank Gore. You can never say anything bad about Frank Gore.
Exactly.
Now, the next question is our biggest areas of concern. I mean, it's hard to say because we're 2-0. I think big thing still is our third down efficiency. We still are having a little bit of problems converting on third downs.
Yeah.
I know we've improved on that from last year, but I still think that's a trouble area.
Yeah. No, I agree with that as well. I mean, it's clearly the biggest issue on the team. I think another issue is just converting the deep ball, too. I mean, Vernon Davis is obviously, you know, a huge threat. And we have Randy Moss. I know he's been more of a decoy thus far, but I think, you know, as we play teams, you know, upcoming like the Jets, and when we go into Seattle and places like that, like, we really need to up the long passing game as well, or we might get into some trouble.
Agree. Now, the upcoming matchup is with the Minnesota Vikings, and Jared Allen is someone that we need to control and keep him at bay. And I think basically it's going to be, you know, Staley. They're going to have to double team Allen. Staley obviously had a little bit of problems with Matthews, but was able to control Sue. So I think we'll be okay there. And as you said before we started, you think Allen's a little overrated.
Oh, you're making me say that on air. Yeah, I do. I mean, he obviously had the monster year last year, and he's always a threat, and is probably going to wind up, you know, that Alex Smith is sacked 5 times and, like, is out for the season after me saying that. No, not really. But, yeah, I don't know. There's just something about him. It's like a speed thing or something, where I just don't think he's as effective sometimes as Matthews, or, you know, it's just a complete package. That's all.
Yeah. And the last question is just the matchup in general, and I think we all know as Niner fans the biggest part of the Vikings, or all of it, is just, you know, stopping AP. And obviously he's much healthier each week, and we're great at stopping the run, so I think we should be okay there. They don't have much of a passing game, so I think we should come out on top and get this W again.
Yeah, we have to get out to an early lead, and we have to take away the run game. I mean, that's the simple answer. And I mean, I don't have any faith that won't happen. So I expect us to eliminate the running game, as we do with every other team.
Exactly. Well, that is our first down.
Hi, Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Four Downs. We are so honored to be joined this week on our second full show by the man that you see here. And I'd like to thank the 49ers PR staff for setting this up and getting him here today. Him, of course, being head coach Jim Harbaugh. Thanks for joining me, Coach. Yeah, well, first of all, you have a very famous uniform. This black pullover and the beige pants, which obviously everyone can see, a little oversized. How many of those outfits do you own? 37. Wow. Well, it's nice for us all to know that you're clean. Let's go to week one. You were really, really mad the whole game. Like, your face was red. You kind of looked like Mike Shanahan. What was going through your head the whole game? Yeah, no, that's understandable. Now, when you're that upset, Coach Harbaugh, I know you just had a newborn son, Jack. Congratulations. Can you take out a picture of little Jack and look at it, or do you have any other method to help you relax? No method. Well, Coach Harbaugh, I keep power rankings, as do other pundits, and pretty much everybody at this point has your 49ers as the #1 team heading into week 3, as well as favorites to win it all, to win the Super Bowl. How do you react to that? Oh, it's just power rankings. It's just for fun. No, I know it's only week 3, but just, everybody does it. I think Peter King starts doing his in July. It's just content, but all right, we won't talk about expectations. Let's talk about the Vikings. You have the big game against the Vikings on Sunday, and Randy Moss is making yet another reunion, having yet another reunion in Minnesota. What are your plans, Coach Harbaugh, to infiltrate Moss into the offense more than you have the first 2 weeks, if any plans? Oh, okay. Really? Wait, you're going to run that play? Seriously? Can I tell them? No? Okay. Well, it'll just be our little secret. I'm going to let you go. I really, really appreciate the time, Coach Harbaugh, and good luck against the Vikings, and have a great week in Youngstown. Thank you.
All right, now we're back with our third down, and this is going to be a little different than we did last week. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the off-the-field type of stuff with the Niners, and what do you think, Melissa, about Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn being in the huddle after the game? Owen Wilson, I do know, is a 49er fan from back like in the 80s, so I'm going to say that that's okay, but we both know that Vince Vaughn is like diehard Chicago, and correct me if I'm wrong, and so that was a little weird that he was decked from head to toe in 49ers gear. So is he jumping on our bandwagon?
Yeah, he is, and so are a lot of other people. First of all, I was totally jealous, weren't you?
Yeah.
Like, we need to do that by the end of this.
The
end of this season, we need to get in that locker room for a speech, don't you think?
Yes, we'll do our speech and get the guys rallied up, and Harbaugh will be like, you know what, that was the best.
Yeah, we'll wear our Faithful Easter shirt. So, are you listening, Harbaugh? Vince Vaughn. I mean, I understand the celebrity element. I'm sure the Niners haven't, had that much since the 80s and 90s, but other than Robin Williams and like Dana Carvey or people like that. I know they want to up the cool factor, but yeah, it didn't look right seeing Vince Vaughn in there and wearing red. It was very strange.
Well, because everyone relates him to everything Chicago.
Hasn't he been in like Monday Night Football promos for the Bears and things like that? Yeah, it's definitely a little homer or bandwagon.
So Owen Wilson, I give him the pass, but Vince Vaughn, he needs to stay at Soldier Field.
Are they promoting like Wedding Crashers 5 or something, or what's going on?
I think they are doing a movie together, and that's how Harbaugh met them and invited him to the game.
Of course.
So. Another thing that is kind of touches close to home because I'm such a diehard Giants fan, San Francisco Giants, I should reiterate is the fact that Alex Smith was going to be fined $15,000 for wearing a Giants hat in his presser after the game, which is hilarious to me because doesn't the NFL have other things to worry about than, especially Merton Hanks, 49er.
Yeah.
fantasy is the one that was going to fine him. They took it back and basically gave him a warning. But he was trying to, rock the Giants hat and support, the soon-to-be NL West champions, and he got in trouble for it. What do you think?
Well, I think Merton should be cutting us some slack, first of all, cutting Alex some slack. I think it's really funny because hasn't he been wearing that hat for like 5 years?
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought it was, ironic. And a lot of the guys, like Aldon Smith, was actually wearing a Giants hat. Obviously not in his presser, but he was wearing, the Giants hat as well. And it's funny. I was looking on Twitter, and Sergio Romo, one of our relievers, was talking about, come on, he's supporting the teams, and a lot of Giants players were saying, hey, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think it's very funny because, like I said, I really do think he's been wearing that since the Giants won the World Series, and I think it's just like, oh wait, there's more than 5 people that are watching Alex's press conferences all of a sudden. Let's go ahead and find him.
And doesn't the NFL have something else to worry about, like the refs or something?
Yeah. That situation's totally under control. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing, I guess, is just the excitement of the fact that the Niners are back. Like, if we don't make it to the big dance, I think a lot of people will be disappointed. If they keep playing the way they're playing, I don't see anyone being able to beat us, AFC or NFC. I really think we look that dominant, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I agree, and I didn't feel that way last year because every win was like, wow, is this really happening? Is this really happening? But now, I mean, we're stacked. We're stacked.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously the concern is peaking too early, and the other concern is a team like the Giants getting hot, in the playoffs like they do every year, as we know. But I don't know. There's something then that comes down to Harbaugh. It comes down in total faith in Harbaugh that he's going to keep this team grounded. So that's, even this game against Minnesota, it could totally be, let's look ahead to the Jets. But I really, I feel like there's no way Harbaugh doesn't keep this team grounded and prepared every
Exactly.
week. So that's,
because some teams will play down to the level of that team, and as you can see with a lot of teams around the league, and Harbaugh makes sure to take each game by game, and to he's the one that's making the difference. I think it's exciting because I was part of the Niners, in the '90s when I was a cheerleader, and to finally get that magic in the air, a candlestick is exciting. I mean, we dominated the 80s and 90s, 5 Super Bowls in 13 years, and I think they're back. And as a Niner fan, it's exciting.
Yeah, and there's a difference, every team, even like the Jags and the Colts probably start the year saying we'd be disappointed if we didn't win the Super Bowl. But to actually say it and actually mean it are completely different mindsets,
Exactly. So as you can see, Niners fans, we are a little ecstatic about it. And that is our third down. All right, and our fourth down is our fantasy football segment. Both me and Melissa. Melissa's a fantasy expert. She writes about it. She's an analyst, and I have a Sirius XM Playboy Fantasy Football show that I host. So we both get into fantasy. And I know it's hard to say when it comes to Niners because you want to start all the Niners. Right now, if you have any Niners on your team, you should start them. But the first one is talking about Manningham or Crabtree. I was wrong last week with talking about Moss. I know they're going to finally try to work him into the offense slowly. Harbaugh's doing that. But Crabtree, he looked great. If you have him, you got to start him. He has 6 catches and 67 yards. And you can see that him and Smith are starting to get that chemistry going, and he's starting to become a top target, besides Vernon Davis. I'd like to see Crabtree get in the end zone, but I think you got to start him for sure.
So are you starting Manningham and Crabtree if you have them, or just one of these? Who's your choice?
Crabtree. I mean, Manningham is obviously, you saw that he was definitely in the offense, working him in the offense last week. But if you have either of them, you start them. But if you have both, Crabtree.
Yeah, and I just want to address Randy Moss, obviously coming back to Minnesota. This is a big game for him. Actually, I'm going to take Randy Moss and Alex Smith at the same time because I think this is the game where maybe, if things go our way and we have the 3-touchdown lead going into the second half, I think it's a time to try some more of the deep ball. I think you get Randy Moss a little more acclimated to the offense and to Alex as well. And Alex put up 226 passing yards, and he had 211 the week before. I think that number increases, and he has had 2 touchdowns each of the first 2 weeks. I think maybe we see 3 on Sunday. And I think, they really try to get Moss to score. I mean, he seems like he's been a really good soldier. He's been worked really well as a decoy. And I think, this is the game where he's finally rewarded.
Yeah, he has, and he has been so patient, which I've been shocked about.
Yeah, I know.
He's taken a back seat, which I think he knew when he signed with the Niners that Harbaugh explained to him what his role would be.
Yeah. And that's just good coaching, by the way. Harbaugh, the fact that Randy Moss hasn't been a problem is good coaching.
Because I'll be honest, when they first signed him, I said, "Oh God, they don't get him the ball. He's going to be a cancer in the locker room."
Exactly.
That's a lot of people I thought. But it's exciting to see how many different offensive weapons we have and how Alex Smith is able to spread the ball, and he hasn't thrown any picks either. We didn't talk about that, so. Yeah, I mean, your boy Alex Smith, he's really coming through. Yeah. Another thing is Minnesota has allowed 484 yards and 2 passing touchdowns in their last game. So, I think, like I said, if you have some Niners, you gotta start them.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Who got it better? Nobody. To the field from the tailgate party. SFC, yeah, we still G's, but we crushing and hitting every damn thing. If it ain't real, it ain't right. If you can't take a hit, take a hike. The legendary Super Bowl champ said right. A classic connection, Montana to Rice. Field motor section, mission to Diamond Heights. Bayview District, Sunday and Monday nights. Let's ball. If the Niners on y'all, that's the right call. I got one question. Tell them, Harbaugh.